flashing your lights at everybody to let them know that law enforcement was sitting there running radar.
Is that what I did? I'll take the ticket, sir.
I know, but do you think this is funny?
I'm allowed to laugh. I can laugh all I want.
I'm not your brother.
Believe me, you're not.
Yeah, I'll never be your brother.
On May 13, 2022, in Summersville, West Virginia, a seemingly ordinary traffic stop by Corporal J.D. Ellison of the Nicholas County Sheriff's Department escalated into a complex legal encounter. Mr. Headlights, the driver, was pulled over for a unique reason, flashing his headlights to alert others of a speed trap ahead. This incident, capturing a clash between everyday actions and legal interpretations, sparked an intriguing debate on rights and regulations.
That was pretty stupid, wasn't it?
What's that?
Flashing your lights at everybody to let them know that law enforcement was sitting there running radar.
Is that what I did? Is that a crime?
Yeah.
It is? I didn't know that.
You got your license registration proof?
Yeah,
why would you do that? You're flashing your high beams at people to...
In the daytime?
Yeah.
I didn't know that was a crime.
It doesn't say daytime or nighttime, it just says that you can't do it, and you did it.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I didn't know that was a crime.
In the streets of Summersville, Corporal J.D. Ellison, with a stern expression, approached Mr. Headlight's vehicle. The reason for the stop? A seemingly innocuous gesture. Mr. Headlights had flashed his headlights to warn oncoming drivers of a lurking speed trap. Corporal Ellison confronted Mr. Headlights, stating with unwavering certainty that his act of flashing headlights was, in fact, a criminal offense. Mr. Headlights, visibly taken aback by this assertion, responded with a mixture of surprise and disbelief. "Is that a crime?" he queried, his voice tinged with confusion. He hadn't realized that such a simple, seemingly helpful action could be interpreted as illegal. The air was thick with tension as he handed over his license and registration, still processing the officer's claim. Corporal Ellison, undeterred, elaborated on his stance, insisting that flashing headlights at any time of day was against the law, as per his understanding.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I didn't know that was a crime. I didn't know that was...
Yeah, you can't high beam people at any time in the daytime or nighttime.
I didn't know that. I didn't know. I mean, yeah, nighttime I understand, but daytime I didn't know.
This interaction, unfolding on the roadside, was not just a mere traffic stop, but a moment where everyday understanding of helpful gestures collided head-on with the letter of the law. The crux of this incident lies in the interpretation of West Virginia Code Section 17C-15-26, which Corporal Ellison cited to justify the stop. This statute states, "Flashing lights are prohibited on motor vehicles," a phrase that, at first glance, seems straightforward. However, a closer analysis reveals linguistic nuances that significantly impact its application to Mr. Headlight's case. Notably, the statute uses the term flashing lights as a noun, suggesting it refers to lights designed to flash, like those on emergency vehicles, rather than the act of a driver manually flashing vehicle headlights. The context of Article 15, focusing on vehicle equipment, reinforces this interpretation. The law appears to regulate the types of lights that can be installed on vehicles, rather than driver behaviors. Furthermore, the statute explicitly permits certain flashing lights for turn signals, emergency stops, and specific service vehicles. This exception indicates that the law's primary concern is the type of lights a vehicle carries, not a driver's momentary use of standard headlights. In light of this, Corporal Ellison's application of the statute to Mr. Headlight's action of manually flashing his headlights to communicate with other drivers seems to extend beyond the intended scope of the law.
I'm sure I could articulate some other kind of driving charge in there for doing that too. Well, that's pretty crappy.
Yeah, I apologize. I'm just going to call them and see if they can send it, because I thought it was
Just, you can hang tight, listen to what he says.
The core issue pivots on whether Mr. Headlight's act of flashing his headlights constitutes protected expressive conduct under the First Amendment, which safeguards freedom of speech and expression. In similar cases, courts have recognized that nonverbal, conduct-based expressions can fall under the ambit of First Amendment protection. Notably, the U.S. District Court for the Western District of Wisconsin, in the 2019 case of Albrecht v. Splinter, acknowledged that certain actions, symbolic in nature, could convey a specific, understandable message, thus meriting First Amendment consideration. This perspective aligns with the precedent set in cases like State v. Walker, Tennessee, 2003, and Love v. City of Ellisville, Missouri, 2014, where flashing headlights to communicate about speed traps was deemed a form of expressive conduct. In Mr. Headlight's case, flashing his headlights to signal other drivers about a speed trap could be interpreted as an act of communication, a nonverbal expression of a message warning fellow motorists. This act, while seemingly trivial, aligns with the broader constitutional principle that protects the right to convey messages, even without words. The legal challenge, therefore, is determining whether such acts of nonverbal communication are indeed safeguarded by the constitutional shield of the First Amendment.
Alright, so there's your stuff back there. And I wrote you 2 citations today. First one being special restrictions on lamps, which you can read that code, and it says no flashing lights shall be on a vehicle. And at that point in time, you had flashing lights on your vehicle. It's unauthorized.
Well, under the Constitution, it's protected in the First Amendment. But I'm going to look into it.
That's in Tennessee.
Yeah, I'm going to look into it. I'm going to
Yeah.
see about West Virginia.
Yeah.
'Cause it's free speech, you know.
Yeah, it's not illegal to do that, to flash and warn, but it's illegal to high beam, and it is legal to have flashing lights on your vehicle, not being an emergency vehicle.
The situation escalated when Corporal Ellison, perceiving defiance in Mr. Headlight's laughter, decided to arrest him.
I said, I'll see.
Okay. And I could take you to jail today for your unsigned registration card, but I just wrote you a citation for that. That's actually up to 6 months in jail. You think it's funny, sir?
I'll take the ticket, sir.
I know, but do you think this is funny?
I'm allowed to laugh. I can laugh all I want.
Okay. Go ahead and step out here for me.
I didn't do anything.
Sir, I'm asking you to step out the...
Am I being detained?
Yes, sir, you are. Step out of the vehicle.
Are you serious?
Place your hands behind your back for
Are
me.
you serious?
Yes, sir. Place your hands behind your back for
Oh,
me.
man, you're serious, brother.
I'm not your brother.
The charge was not for the act of flashing headlights, but rather for an unsigned registration card, a minor offense that rarely warrants arrest. This move by the officer marked a significant turn in the encounter, shifting from a debate over traffic regulations to a question of lawful arrest and free speech. In the subsequent legal proceedings at the Nicholas County Magistrate Court, Mr. Headlights, representing himself, contested the charges. The court deliberated on 2 key accusations: the alleged illegal use of flashing headlights and the unsigned registration card.
You're not.
Yeah, I'll never be your brother. I'll never be your brother.
Exactly. You'll never be my brother. Just be careful.
I don't want to be your brother.
No, just be careful with me, sir.
Don't jerk away from me.
Just be careful.
Don't jerk away from me, sir.
Just be careful.
Don't jerk away from me.
My wallet is in the car.
Okay, I don't want you to jerk away from me
I was
right
going
there.
away from the traffic.
No, I was putting you in front of my car,
Okay.
which is away from traffic.
You're arresting me for laughing.
No,
I didn't do anything.
I'm arresting you for unsigned registration.
Okay, all right, that's fine.
Okay? So stand right there.
After examining the evidence and arguments, Magistrate Michael Hanks delivered a mixed verdict. The court dismissed the charge related to the unsigned registration card, acknowledging its minor nature. However, surprisingly, it convicted Mr. Headlights of the special restrictions on lamps violation, a decision seemingly at odds with the broader interpretation of the law and First Amendment implications. This outcome not only questioned the initial basis for the traffic stop but also reflected the complex interplay between local traffic laws and constitutional rights.
Do you have any weapons in the
I ain't
vehicle?
got no weapons. No. I'm working now.
Okay. Hang tight in front of my vehicle for me. Hang tight right here in front of my vehicle for me.
Corporal Ellison's conduct in this incident raises critical questions about law enforcement discretion and adherence to legal standards. His decision to pull over Mr. Headlights for a seemingly benign act and subsequently arresting him for an unrelated minor violation indicates a potential overreach of authority. This approach, especially the arrest triggered by Mr. Headlights' laughter, suggests a subjective interpretation of the law influenced by personal reactions rather than objective legal grounds. The interactions handling by both parties further illuminates the dynamics of police-citizen encounters. While Mr. Headlights expressed surprise and questioned the legality of the stop, he maintained a generally respectful demeanor. On the other hand, Corporal Ellison's actions, possibly influenced by perceived disrespect, resulted in an escalation that might have been avoidable.
This case exemplifies the delicate balance between law enforcement's duty and individual rights. Proper legal grounding is essential in upholding justice and avoiding unnecessary escalation. The encounter between Mr. Headlights and Corporal Ellison serves as a reminder that respect for civil liberties and careful judgment are fundamental in law enforcement, ensuring fairness and trust in the justice system.